Nigerians are really disappointed in Professor Wole Soyinka. He missed the unique opportunity to be celebrated by the Nigerian youths.
Recent comments by Professor Wole Soyinka is the most unfortunate and regrettable. While we do not frown at his remarks because of any political party or politicians or movement reference, we do so because of his emotionless detour from the real issues of the elections to pursue what appears as selective witch hunt. It is on record that Professor Wole Soyinka never condemned the shameless episode of ethnic profiling, intimidation, and hate speech by elements such as Muslimu Akinsonya, aka MC Oluomo, Bayo Ononuga, FF Kayode, and a host of other atrocious persons. All their actions are not fascists, nor did he condemn Professor Mahmood Yakubu's instance of flaunting INEC's guidelines, the Electoral Act, and his rush to declare a winner. It is sad that when it matters the most, the voice of our dear Prof, whose books and thoughts form the base of academic pursuit by some, should breathe reason on the polity, he chose to stand with the oppressor in the burning house, enjoying a rat chase. The Prof should be a father to all Nigerians, irrespective of ethnicity, religion, party, or social affiliation. However, he has betrayed the trust of many Nigerians who before now hold him in high esteem. Yeah. We therefore call for the boycott of his books, yes, articles, and events, yes, and all public engagements, yes, that celebrate his literary achievements, which as of today do not recognize the well-being of the ordinary Nigerian. Yes. Yeah. We need role models, not sellouts.
Yes. So guys, I want you to listen to this passionate speech given by these protesters. Honestly, you know, these are people fighting for a better Nigeria. These are people telling our government that they can do better. These are people airing their mind, telling the government that what we had wasn't an election that people were so much intimidated, an election where people were not allowed to vote, an election where ballot boxes were snatched, an election where INEC refused to transmit results as promised. They've come out to reject this election. They said they want a new election. So guys, let me allow you to listen to what they've got to say. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others. Turn on your notification bell for more uploads, and don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.
Free Nigeria movement, coalition of different youth groups, support groups, religious groups, Nigerians frustrated, hungry. Today we're here to address the press. Saving Nigeria, a collective toil, is a press statement by the Free Nigeria movement presented on Monday, the 10th of April, 2023 in Abuja, Nigeria. Before I read the press, I want to reiterate again that we're in mourning. We have been in mourning, especially for our brothers and sisters, mothers. We've seen all kinds of gruesome killings that have happened in the last few hours in Nigeria. I don't know, but the pain that we feel cannot be described by words. The world is watching. Our nation is watching. Leaders are watching. We feel pain, and we challenge the media to report appropriately what's going on in our country, because history, right here, history is happening before us. May we not cower. May we rise up and be the voice of reasoning at this particular juncture in Nigeria's history. Fellow Nigerians, it is with great sadness that we present this press statement today. The events of the past few days, marked by the veiled desperation by those whose contribution to our country is a steady output of violence, distortions of national ethos, ineptitude, and disillusioned governance, to say the least, are beyond disgraceful. We are witnesses to the naked dance of the brass of impunity on national scale, with the desperation to gag opposing voices and force a predetermined narrative on the international community rise to despotic levels. It merits saying in the light of these events that our country is not a military state and must not be allowed to run on the dictatorial pace of a junta. The modest search through history, and you will find that cultures and societies that endorse criminality and idolize criminals soon perish in the fires of extinction. We cannot let our country die, however broken, scared, and traumatized we may be. For Nigeria is our mother. We owe her care and protection, and not abandon her to incestuous rape by corrupt politicians through our collective silence. Suffice to say that whatever goal silence has amassed since February 25th, 2023 has lost its ethical value. Any attempt to further explore it will amount to dealings in blood, as the cost is the lives, faith, and hope of poor Nigerians who are represented here today on this table. In the last 21 days, we have made consistent call for the cancellation of the presidential election, risking our lives amidst threats of attack by political thugs and violent merchants, some of whom have camped at the Unity Fountain. We have made presentations to the governments of the United States, Britain, and country representation of the United Nations, European Union, and ECOWAS. We have also held press conference to clarify our position on the declaration of an interim government, when the ill-planned attempt by spying doctors to frame it as a call for military takeover began to build up heat in the polity. We have also held national prayers for the nation. But above all, we have maintained a non-violent stance in our bid to seek redress for our demand. Our demands remain the following: sack, arrest, prosecute Professor Mahmood Yakubu. Yes. Cancellation of the presidential election of 25th February 2023. Yes. Compensate all victims of electoral violence. Yes. The establishment of Truth and Reconciliation Committee in Lagos, another flashpoint of violence. Yes. Our resolve is built on truth, faith, hope, and on the risky, if not suicidal, conviction that illegality will always birth illegality. Hardly can any Nigerian alive deny the outcome of the presidential election did not represent the will of the Nigerian people or amount to an abuse of suffrage. We all know the truth, but why are we not saying anything about it? What most Nigerians do not understand is that the people representing this evil against our country are deliberate and desperate. Their path is laid before them, and power is their ultimate livelihood. It does not matter how many people are killed or how badly they pollute our ideological space with religious and tribal sentiments. As long as they get to power, they are fulfilled. Even now, they have made permutations for 2027 because in their mind, they own the country and Nigerians have nothing. Nigerians must see in this last election, and even at this moment, an opportunity that is fast burning out. We cannot deny that the enthusiasm and dedication of Nigerians to participate in the 2023 general election and the political tsunami that followed such as the sack of incumbent governors and parliamentarians, was a threat to the life of the old political order. In order to sustain their hold on power, they unleashed their age-long tactics of religious and ethnic sentiments. In some places, we turned on each other. In other places, they unleashed their war dogs on hapless Nigerians who fled polling units, abandoning the elections. But though one of us may lose, all of us cannot. We are as strong as our numbers and the courage with which we stand in the face of impunity. The Nigerian youth represents the most abused demography in the unlawful conduct of Professor Mahmood Yakubu. He toyed with your trust, your faith, and your resilience on the credibility of the electoral process. He made you a ray of hope at the end of a dark tunnel, though he knew he was going to plug it as soon as elections were over. He was in league doing the bidding of his masters. But the corrupt and evil old political order, they know that you will be angry. They know you will be traumatized. Yes, they know you will be uninterested, afraid. But above all, they know you will do nothing after the election results were upturned and their desired winner announced. They did it to kill your spirit and believe in the possibility of a free and fair election, because they know that if it ever become a reality, their grip on power and gluttonous plunder of our commonwealth will perish. Maybe they have succeeded because the apathy that greeted the conduct of the gubernatorial elections were loud and deep. You did not come out, nor due to the fear alone, but because fear had bled faith and hope from your heart. Sitting here today, we are certain, but that hope can birth courage if you let it. We were once like you, trapped and broken, lost in the inertia of political voodoo, pierced by the cruel spear of intimidation and reverse psychology, where lies are washed by truth, by the evil of all political order. But we dare to raise our heads at the pain of losing our lives to take the stand for Nigeria. We implore you to do the same, to leave the pages of social media and join us on the street to demand for justice, for equity and fairness. And while we hope that the judiciary will do what is appropriate for our country in terms of our laws, we cannot sit and wait for Uhuru to happen. We must rise up to make demands. We are not unaware of the actions of conscienceless individuals held bent on imposing a regime of distrust and rancor on Nigeria, and to call on them to desist forthwith. We cannot continue to water the lawns of emotional cannibals who rise to power on the blood of ordinary Nigerians. The recent comments by Professor Wole Soyinka is the most unfortunate and regrettable. While we do not frown at his remarks because of any political party or politicians or movement referenced, we do so because of his emotionless detour from the real issues of the elections to pursue what appears as selective witch hunt. It is on record that Professor Wole Soyinka never condemned the shameless episode of ethnic profiling, intimidation, and hate speech by elements such as Muslimu Akinsanya, aka MC Oluomo, Bayo Ononuga, FF Kayode, and a host of other atrocious persons. All their actions are not fascist. Nor did he condemn Professor Mahmood Yakubu's instance of flaunting INEC's guidelines, the Electoral Act, and his rush to declare a winner. It is sad that when it matters the most, the voice of our dear Prof, whose books and thoughts form the base of academic pursuit by some, should breathe reason on the polity, he chose to stand with the oppressor in the burning house, enjoying a rat chase. The Prof should be a father to all Nigerians, irrespective of ethnicity, religion, party, or social affiliation. However, he has betrayed the trust of many Nigerians who before now hold him in high esteem. Yeah. We therefore call for the boycott of his books, yes, articles and events, yes, and all public engagements, yes, that celebrate his literary achievements, which as of today do not recognize the well-being of the ordinary Nigerian. Yes. Yeah. We need role models, not sellouts. Yes. The international community, especially Europe and America, must understand that despite the prescribed neutrality based on diplomatic ethics, will be the most affected if anything happens to Nigeria's democracy. The weight of human energy that will mob your borders will be as never imagined. We frown at the rush of most of the diplomatic communities to congratulate INEC's president-elect select. This action will further embolden the ponderers of the will of Nigerians to hold onto the stolen victory. We therefore call for discretion forthwith. Finally, may we reinstate our commitment to a united, democratic, prosperous Nigeria. We are moved by this commitment to call for answers to the evil of 1st of March 2023, a very traumatic moment in our history. For that day, the sanctity of what should ordinarily be a free and fair process was buried in the sands of impunity. That declaration by Professor Mahmood remains a dark moment in our history. Little wonder the nation responds with mourning. Our country has been on a perilous journey since then. We call on all Nigerians, including the judiciary, to rise up and save Nigeria. For saving Nigeria is a collective toil. Yes. Let Nigeria win. Yes. Freedom cometh by struggle. Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come. When I remember my mood, water run away my ayo. Water run away my eye. When I remember my mood, water run away my ayo. Water run away my eye. When I remember the killings, water run away my ayo. Water run away my eye. Water run away my eye. Water run away my ayo. Water run away my eye. Great Nigerian people. Grace. Ever conscious Nigerian people. Grace.
All right. I think for the sake of just a couple of media houses that do their broadcast also in Hausa, in a couple of seconds, I would summarize what he said. Daga farko mun yi magana akan kashe-kashen da ake yi, wanda mun jinjina da wayanda suka rasa rayukansu aka musu kisa. And then akwai batun da muna nanata matsayarmu a matsayin talakawan Najeriya, an zambace mu an yaudare mu. Shugaban hukumar zaɓe ya lashe takobi, ya yi alkawari, ya yi rantsuwa zai yi adalci, amma bai yi haka ɗin ba. Sa'an nan kuma muna nan akan bakanmu, wanda idan Allah ya yarda za mu ci gaba da zanga-zangar mu ta lumana. Muna kira kuma ga 'yan ƙasa mu kauce daga shafin Facebook da social media, mu fito mu nuna bakin ciki mu nuna rashin yadda mu haɗa hannu mu ceci demokradiyyar Najeriya. Kuma muna kira ga ƙasashen duniya da muke kawance da su, waɗanda sun fito, musamman waɗanda suka yi gaggawan nuna yi wa wanda aka ce wai shine ya ci zaɓe, suna mishi barka da su hattara, su dubi yadda talakawan Najeriya suke, su sani cewa ba ra'ayinsu aka nuna cewa ya ci zaɓe ba. Saboda haka yau muna akan bakan mu cewa za mu tsaya, za mu tabbatar da cewa mun yi tsayin daka, mun ga da cewa an yi wa talakan Najeriya adalci. Abinda muke kokari kenan mu sa mutane su fahimta. So thank you so much for coming, and basically this what our position is, and we sincerely hope that we move away from what we do, especially those of us on social media. Protest will have to leave the social media and hit the streets. It has been peaceful. We have been out for 21 days. We have been within the provisions of the law, and we will continue in that manner until the Nigerian people win. Thank you so much.
So guys, all eyes now is on our judiciary. We want the judiciary to do what they are supposed to do. We want the judiciary to do what Nigerians want them to do. They are being paid by tax money, as in they are being paid by taxpayers' money. We want them to deliver justice to this case. They shouldn't cite our politicians. They shouldn't be partisans. Otherwise, this election should be cancelled. So guys, you have heard it for yourself. They are telling the world, they are telling Nigeria that they are not accepting this result, that the election should be cancelled, a fresh election should be conducted. That is what they are asking for. And I tell you, they are not asking too much, because the Nigerian youths have been waiting for a moment like this, when they can use their votes to decide who governs them. And that time came. INEC dashed the hope of the Nigerian people. INEC destroyed our hope. INEC sold our voice. INEC sold our mandate.